Nightwitch to be in one of those chests. How many legendaries can I get? So let's open the giant chest. 1. Number 1. We get gold, goblin heart, dark goblin, knight, tombstone. That's it. That's the first giant chest. Let's try another one. That's the first Fraise, bomber, battleground, and what is it? Twitch, please. Oh, the Inferno Dragon! Dang! I was so hoping for Nightwitch, but it's the Inferno Dragon. Okay. Next one. Let's try another giant chest. Number 3. Gold. Bear goblins, barbarians, knight, bomb tower. That's it. That's number 3. Next one. Number 4. And that's what we get. No Nightwitch. Number 5. Number 5. A lot of gold, heal spell, battle ram, rocket, minion horde. That's it, number 5. Let's go and open some magical chests and see what we get there. Number 1. Gold, goblins, knight, elite barbarians, goblin gang, fire spirits, the heal, and lightning. And I always get elite barbs that I don't need. Please, please, give me the Nightwitch. So, next magical chest. We get fire spirits, goblins, goblin gang, 35. The furnace, 25, and 4 epics, the giant skelly. Why do I get all the stuff I don't use? And the last one is a legendary, Nightwitch, please, Nightwitch! It's the graveyard. It's the graveyard. I don't know. The game somehow doesn't want to give me Nightwitch. So I'm gonna open 3 more magical chests. Number 1. We get gold, royal giant, the wizard, fire spirit, the witch, skeleton army, a lot of giants, 15, and poison. No Nightwitch. Next magical chest. Gold. Bear goblins, wish me luck. Guys, wish me luck. Rocket. The minion horde. The Valkyrie. The clone spell. And what's the last one? What's the last one gonna be? Legendary, Nightwitch, please, Nightwitch! Oh, the Ice Wizard! Supercell, please, give me Nightwitch! Dang! It's the only card I'm missing, is the Nightwitch. Let's go for another one. Let's go for another one. Gold. Cannon, arrows, archers, tap, and the last one is 4 golems, and the last, oh, that is the last one. 3 legendary cards, but no Nightwitch yet in this chest opening. I hope I get her soon. And in the shop, it's the same thing, by the way. I never had her I have so many legendaries in the shop, but not Nightwitch. It's like Supercell doesn't want to give me Nightwitch on my main account. I hope you enjoyed this chest opening videos. For more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks, see you next time. Have an awesome day. Hey everyone! Hi! Yeah, the microphone works. I was just confused and thought the microphone's not working. But it's working. And if you're confused why I'm so small, that's because I had to fix the overlay last minute. We're doing Royal Premier League today. And we actually have the old frame back over there, but it actually fits this frame really well here. So let me also switch on the music, guys. All a bit in a hurry, also because it's 1 hour earlier than I usually stream, so I had to hurry. Let's switch on the music. There you go. That's better. So today is Royal Premier League, and you might have seen in the video description. Let me quickly open it for me so I read it. First we have Imperial Utopia against Team Queso. That's the first match, and I'm already in that clan. You see it over there. It's gonna start soon. Then 1 hour later, which is 8 my time, we're gonna have Alpha eSports against Giants Gaming. And then third, we have Wild Bulls against Team Repulse. And the fourth match would be Mega Smiley against Team Heretics. Unfortunately, I'm not able to cast that one because it's really late for me. But the first 3 matches, the first 3 hours, we'll have right here in this stream. Dang, I'm so small. I gotta get really close here. I'm so small. Yeah, if I have time, I gotta fix the overlay. But this is the best I could do. You guys are used to see me like this. Like really big, and now we're like this. But the good thing is, at least you should be able to read the chart over there. We have Utopia against Team Queso today. Let me also switch off the sound over here because that may be very disturbing. Yeah, I'm happy that many of you are here to watch the Royal Premier League. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, let me first say hi to everyone that's here. And is the sound okay, guys? Let me know. I hope so. We have Nova 1 Daniel here. How are you? Then Axel Lopez. Mike is in the house. Mike, woo! Awesome to have you here. You guys can try to read the rules over there. It's probably pretty small. It's probably very small. Then Oliver Gonzalez supporting Team Queso. I shouldn't say this, guys, but I'm a big Team Queso fan. I'm fangirling. And then Kaken Ahmed is in the house. Trainer Hui. Kaken YouTube. Trainer Hui. Will I make a tourney today? No, I'm streaming Royal Premier League today. I don't know yet how it's gonna be tomorrow, actually, to be honest, because tomorrow is also Royal Premier League, so I'm not sure I'll make a tourney or do both or whatever. We'll see. Then Yemi Arboleda. Vamos Imperial. Vamos. Go Utopia. Then that's Mariluz Medina. Then Tudorel, Gavrila, Vinay Kumar, Elijah, Clark. I gotta get closer that I'm not that small. And it will start very soon. As always, it's best of 3 sets. Best of 5 in each set. Just for those who don't know the rules yet. And I'm super hyped to see Team Queso here first. Let me check those filters. Yeah, it's okay. Should work. So we should soon see a battle. Third, Vinya Kumar and Ali Barampuri. And Pablo, that's the first match. Pablo, I almost accepted it. Damn, I almost accepted it by mistake. There we go. Pablo against Mthja. It's the first match. It's the very first match today. Can I join this somehow? You gotta be in a team in Royal Premier League. This is Season 3. This is Season 3 of Royal Premier League. It's league matches. I'm great, Nova One Day. A little headache. I don't know. Always Sundays. I think because I have less caffeine on Sundays than during the week. I don't know. Oliver Gonzalez. Yeah, Serch and Mthja in the house. Super hyped to see Surgical Goblin in the matches. And then Team Queso Rock, Nitish. And Ron Reshef. Hello, remember me. I won one of your tournaments. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you guys see today I published the tourney winner decks, the top 10, because somebody yesterday said I should make those a YouTube video. And actually I thought that is a good idea. And so I did it. I uploaded it today as a YouTube video. Let me also see if my notifications went out just very quickly. Okay. Okay, I was retweeted at least, so I think the message went out. Let me know if the sound's not okay. I hope it's okay. We're gonna have a long stream today, a 3-hour stream. 3 matches. It's actually 4, but the 4th, dang, that would be very late, so I can only stream the first 3 hours. And I'm here on my mini, showing you Team Queso right now. Against, dang, I can't read the name on the screen. Imperial Utopia. That's the very first matchup right here. And yeah, that's what it is. So that starts at 05:05:00. Let me also add the start times here to the video description. There you go. Pratmar Singh in the house. Woo, woo, woo. Now you see the true fans that don't only come for tournaments. I appreciate you guys so much. The true fans that are here in the Royal Premier League streams or also in other streams, not only when there are tournaments I host. Awesome. So let's see how those guys play. I remember Mthja from Season 2. He was an awesome player in Season 2. I'm not sure about the whole other team, Imperial. I think I didn't host any of their matches. So, let's see. Mthja currently in the lead. He already took a tower. You see the decks they play. Still, everybody is using Night Witch. Night Witch is everywhere. That's amazing. And yeah, Graveyard is still strong. Poison still strong. Actually, Pablo playing a double Witch deck. That's very interesting. But here Mthja won the first match. Ron Reshef, hello. And Jose, hello. Welcome, Jose. Welcome. Bienvenido, Jose. Bienvenido a todos los fans de Team Queso. Yo hablo un poquito español, pero el stream es en inglés. Dang. That was like Spanish to the point. The best I can do. And the next one, Jorge against Soking. Awesome. Good luck. Jorge against Soking. And Josel C. Thanks for the follow. Woo. Awesome. And we have MisterKap. Beautiful MisterKap. I'm happy you're back. We missed you yesterday in the stream. Happy you're back and that everything is okay. I was worried for a bit, to be honest, because you're like really regularly there in every stream. And so once you're not in the stream, I was a little bit worried. Anyways. Let's go back to this battle here. Jorge against Soking. We know Soking. He's a great player. And so far we've only seen here parts of his deck. He's playing a Hog Rider and the Bandit. I become a fan of the Bandit recently. It's such a fast card and really very enjoyable to play. It also has that fun mechanics to it. Not like the Hog Rider. The Hog Rider, I don't know. I just don't like the Hog Rider. I don't know why. But I like the Bandit. I like the Bandit. And currently, actually, Soking is a little bit ahead. Pretty Pearl. Woo! Thanks for the follow, Pretty Pearl. Thank you so much. Do we also have YouTube subs? Let's see. Maybe this is not refreshing. Sometimes it's not refreshing. Let's restart it and hope it refreshes. And Rel was the last one. Okay. Bradmash, hey goddess. MisterKap, sorry. Don't have to say sorry. I was just worried, and I'm happy that everything is okay. Then, you know, just some personal things. Yeah, that's no problem. Okay, there's the heal spell. I've read many rant about the heal spell. Twitter is going, like, really going hot on topics about the heal spell. A lot of big YouTubers, big pro players streamed that the heal spell should be nerfed in some way. because the heal spell and battle ram and 3 muskets is everywhere in the meta. I'm not using it at the moment, so I don't know, but yeah, it's really strong. It's really strong from what I've seen, and I'm really curious whether it will be nerfed. I don't know, what do you guys think? Will it be nerfed? Put it in the chat, let me know what you think. So this is Soking here, and he's playing the Hog Rider deck, pretty traditional Hog Rider deck with the Tornado. And he already almost has 2 towers down. Jorge trying to get to the tower there with the giant heal, but Tornado pulling them away from the tower pretty easily, and dang, the bandit. The bandit takes down that giant. And there's the next Hog Rider. Hog Rider really still a very strong weapon. And Hog Rider is at the tower, and no, it's not, it's dead. It's just dead. It's dead. No Hog Rider at the tower, but that's a clear victory here for Soking. Very well played. Soking. There's the log, the deadly log. And I'm so small here. I'm so small. Let me out of this small box here. I'm in the small box. Then, bridge spam. Maybe because of his Mohawk Avalon. Bridge spam. Bridge spam. Then the High Life, thanks for the follow. Waiting for the Surgical match. That's next, isn't it? Yes, next is Surgical Goblin. I will be fangirling for Surgical Goblin, you know it. I'm fangirling for Surgical Goblin. 3 musky heal, I'm using it, no nerf please. How are you? I'm great. Thanks for the broadcast, I'm Howlatter. Okay, you're welcome. Surgical Goblin against Fraise. Fraise, that's this match here. So, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Can you copy my deck and play battle? I'm not battling, I'm just casting the matches today. This is Team Queso against... It's new. It's new for me. Imperial Utopia. What the heck? Siri? Siri just playing random music. Siri going mad, playing random music. So, Serch is playing the 3 musky battle ram deck, and Fraise is poisoning the pump. Not doing much against the muskies at the moment. There's 1 log, but the musk is very dangerous there. It just lets those muskies alive, and also Night Witch. I think that's already tower. Tower for Surgical Goblin. That was a very fast one. A very fast one. And yeah, that sucks. This is the Royal Premier League I'm casting here. It's very awesome pro player matches. So yeah, you see that? Fraise at 20. That match is already over. It's already over before it began. Avalon, how are you today? I'm great, Mrs. Coop. I'm great. I can't find the tournament. There is no tournament today. That's the Royal Premier League. It's 8 teams battling today. 3 musky heal, here it is. And there, Surgical Goblin ends this battle. X, thanks for the follow. That was a fast one. That was really fast. Max the Third, thanks for the follow. Now, the next one will be... I gotta make this a bit bigger. Maybe then I can read it. The next is Colton! Yes! Fangirling for Colton. Colton against Manu. Colton versus Manu. I'm typing because I'm trying to make an index, so you find those battles faster. In the 3-hour video. Next is Colton against Manu. Manu. 3-sip Team Queso. Wow. Oh, Oh, it's already over. First set is already over. That's why. Yeah. Dang. I got to get back into that tourney mode. It's already over. Surgical is a pro. Yes, I am. That's true. Navprit man, hi. It's already over. That was really fast. That first set was super fast. Oh. And now they banned the 3 muskies for the next set. They banned the 3 muskies for next set. Pablo versus Mthja. Pablo versus Mthja. Gotta write those names. Mthja. Dautovai. Mthja, and the other one was Soking against Jorge. Jorge versus Soking. Good. Soking. That was set number 1. So no Colton this time. We're gonna go to set number 2. Imperial Utopia. This is weird. There you go. Don't have the time code for the second match. For the others, I just added the time code. So, ban heal. Colton won't play because it's second set. Yes, exactly. RJC. Colton does not play because it's set. So yeah, that was really fast. Colton always plays Expo or Golem, but he won't play. Ham Army is here. Döner Dodo. Hey, hey. Welcome Ham Army. Woo, 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 woo. Welcome, willkommen. Liebe Grüße nach Deutschland. An all die deutschen Zuschauer. 76 viewers on Twitch. Yes. Liebe Grüße. Herzlich willkommen nach alle deutschen Zuschauer. I also speak German. Ich spreche auch Deutsch. So guys, don't be worried. Don't worry. I'm just speaking German for a second here. To say hi to the guys that Ham Army brought. Ham brought them. A great German streamer on Twitch. So make sure to check him out. Ham on Twitch. Check him out. We're waiting for the second set here of Team Queso versus Imperial Utopia. The 3 muskies are banned for the second set. They're currently fixing the chart over there. So we're gonna get to that second set very soon. There's Ham in the chat. Hey Ham, thank you so much for hosting. Awesome. So many viewers on Twitch. That's kind of irregular. We usually don't have that many viewers on Twitch. Vielen herzlichen Dank, Ham, für den großen Host. Yeah, I told you, my accent in German is horrible. It's more horrible than the accent in English. Zucker in the house. Woo, woo, woo. Zucker, awesome. Welcome. 5-minute break, yeah, as always. I'm trying to talk you through those 5 minutes here. Ham Gang, Edit Zocked, Captain Baloo, Charlotte, Enrico, Terry Unity. Du kannst ja Deutsch! Ja, natürlich kann ich Deutsch. Oh, the chat isn't shown. Ah, yeah, that's it. That's it again. On this overlay, we don't have a chat. So let me switch overlay for a moment. Damn. Here we are. So you guys see the chat. Ham Gang. Rico. Have a nice stream. Thank you so much. Zucker, ich bin nicht Deutsch, doch natürlich kannst du Deutsch. Sure you speak German, Zucker. Sure you do. Should I join Twitch if you like? I'm always streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so if you're worried at the moment or confused, it's only showing the YouTube chat because this combined chat with Twitch and YouTube, it just looks ugly. So I'm just showing the YouTube chat, but I'm reading both chats. I'm reading the YouTube and the Twitch chat. So don't worry, I'm seeing your messages. Edit Zocked, gutes Deutsch, danke. Ham Gang. It's a great Twitch stream. I watched his stream today and it's great, guys. Especially if you speak German, go there and watch Ham's stream. Subscribe, follow him on Twitch. Humpty is weg. Okay, Humpty. That's how they call him. Humpty. Maybe we can fix the chat on the other overlay. Maybe. But where? Where? Where could we put the chat? We could make the slider go away. And put the chat there. Hope it doesn't crash, guys. Sometimes it crashes when you edit those scenes. Base chat. Where the heck is it? Where is the chat? Base chat. There you go. There's the chat. There's the chat. Let's put it here. But we have to make it way smaller. Doesn't fit otherwise, I'm sorry. It's small, but it's there. It's very small, but at least it's there. For those with very good eyes, they still can read it. There you go. You can still make it a bit bigger, just a very tiny little bit. Like this. Yeah, it's a bit small. It's a bit small. But better than none. Thanks for those follows. Ryan Romy, Noob Plays, Nerf 200, Terry Unity, Eddie Zogt, Mohamed Dodo. Thanks for those follows. Captain Baloo, thanks for the follow. And yeah, we're waiting here. We're ready. Waiting for the next set. Hey, Trainer, are you from Nova? Then Gizzard, I want to join. You can't. You cannot join. Soccer, the great German streamer. Yes, she is. Ham Army. You can't join. It's the Royal Premier League. You need to have a team and then you need to qualify. Then, Gedivino. Now you see the chat, but it's very small. It's very small. Okay, they start. Next set. Let's go. Vivax, thanks for the follow. So the next set is started. And let me put those times here in the video description because that makes it easier afterwards. 27, 28. 27, 28. We have... I see it on the screen. Why am I reading there? We have... Pan versus Rom K7. That's the first match of set number 2. Unfortunately, I didn't note the time here for Jorge against Soking, so we're missing that time. And yeah, there you go. In the video description. So, kommst du her Deutschland, oder? Nerf 200. I'm from Switzerland. Aus der Schweiz. Aus der Schweiz. So, as history did it, I started streaming in English and my viewership is way bigger in English, so that's why I always kept streaming in English. I used to be on Camcord and that was an English platform, especially at the start, and that's why I started streaming English. I did some tests with German, but nobody watched. Maybe it would have been different on Twitch, but that's the reason why I'm still streaming English. It just happened and now my viewership is mainly English and so we keep it that way. Nerf 200. And yeah, Zocker, she's from Germany. Colton is second. Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to see Colton in the match. Now there's the Hog Rider. And it's frozen and didn't get a single hit. That was an awesome defense by Tapon. Pan. Hey Chief, can you speak German? Far lap. Yes, I can. Ja, das kann ich. Ich kann Deutsch. Far lap. I'm from Germany. Awesome. Big shout out to all the German viewers. Hope to see you guys again. Please follow and subscribe. We're also doing regular tournaments, regular Clash Royale streams, and also on my YouTube there's regular videos. Let me share that link to everyone. Answer my question. Lol. And if you want to join my Discord, that's my Discord. We could switch on Discord if somebody wants to talk with me. Look who's here! Dragon's Tube in the house. There's the next Hog Rider. Nice distraction, nice freeze. The Hog Rider frozen. Frozen bacon. Gets one hit and it's dead. And now Tepan. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Tepan. Because I don't know where the team's from. Imperial Utopia. This is a close matchup here. K7 playing Hog Rider. Both of them playing Hog Rider. From the decks. What deck is stronger? I personally think... I think, let's see... They're very similar. I think Tapan's deck is stronger. So, he should win. Just from decks. But yeah, you know, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. What's your opinion on this? Darian Romy, I'm Mexican, baby. Yes, you're Mexican. Big shout out to Mexican. Barlap, I subbed 2 months already. Big thumb up for you. Herzlichen Dank. I'm from South Africa. Trainer. I've never been there. It must be beautiful. Then, I guess I can talk. Why not, soccer? Can't stay for very long, but I can be here for 10 minutes or so, Dragon Soup. That's great. I guess I wouldn't talk if you ever would be on Discord with me. We could switch on Discord. If you like. But yeah. Shy little girl. So it's still very close here. Only 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. There's the Hog Rider. Now Romke gets a push, but the bowler is very strong. Actually, the reason why I think Tapan's deck is stronger is because he has that bowler for defense. He has the Night Witch to attack. But he's currently behind. And so it's gonna be very close. There's already Romke with the next push. And the next Hog Rider there. That Hog Rider will get some hits. Probably. Nice freeze. And the bowler will defend. No hit. But the poison. Romke poisoning the tower there. And is it the poison? Is it the poison that will make this a win here for Romke? Is it the poison? There's the next Hog Rider push. Tried by Tapan. And also distracted with a Tombstone and one hit. This is super close. Is it the first draw we see in Royal Premier League? I don't think so. Because there is the next poison and he only needs 2 poisons to win. So that's very close. Tapan needs a successful push. If he wants to stay in this game here, he needs 1 successful push. Of course, the Hog is distracted. That little Dark Goblin guy, that one is so strong, and there's the poison, and then it's over! First win for Team Queso, Romke winning for Team Queso the first match of set number 2. That was also one for Team Queso. I'm eating dinners, this trainer. Hey Zoe, welcome! Welcome Zoe! Welcome Zoe! So, I feel so small here. So small in this small box. So the next match will be Colton. Jorge-xtg against Colton. That will be next one. And time is 33 minutes 31. 33 minutes 31. 33 minutes 31. I'm typing this down because then when somebody watches my replay, they will find it easily. So, this is Jorge-xtg 50 versus Colton Wall. There you go. Nice. That's the second match of set. Whatever! It's the next match. Let's go. Zoe! Let me play something for you. We haven't played it in a while. It's not playing. Will there be a tournament today? No. Today is 3 times Royal Premier League. 6 teams. I'm casting 6 teams of Royal Premier League. So no tournament today. But I'm not sure. Shall we have one tomorrow? Tomorrow will also be Royal Premier League. And maybe we could do the challenge with the 200 likes and then have a tourney once we have 200 likes tomorrow. Because tomorrow is today is also not one of the regular stream days. it's just a Royal Premier League stream. His name is Colton Wall. Yeah, I know. Colton Wall, that's the name. I've known him for a while. He was in the same Twitter group with me for a while. So, you have him in Colton on set list. Niji0421 and Rocket League, thanks for the follow. Awesome. So, let's check this match here. Jorge-xtg playing the P.E.K.K.A with Graveyard Poison, interesting deck. And Colton playing, yeah, probably also has the 3 Muskies. He's playing the meta! We see that a lot in tournaments, the Giant, Battle Ram, Bandit, Night Witch decks. That's very, very common in tournaments right now. And P.E.K.K.A, of course, counters that Battle Ram. But how will he counter the P.E.K.K.A on the left? That's gonna be a tough challenge. He's playing a Baby Dragon to counter it. There's already the next P.E.K.K.A, holy cow. So many P.E.K.K.As on the map. Unbelievable. Look at all those P.E.K.K.As on that map. And the Bandit is at the tower. Now that P.E.K.K.A will die. What about the other P.E.K.K.A with the Battle Ram? Another P.E.K.K.A! Dang, how can they build so many P.E.K.K.As? And now it's P.E.K.K.A against P.E.K.K.A and P.E.K.K.A doesn't hit. There's a log and Night Witch, Bandit. No, Night Witch. Wow, that defense there. That defense. Unbelievable defense. What is Royal Premier League? RPL, Royal Premier League. That's basically a league of pro player teams. Pro player Clash Royale teams. And there is a group phase where they play, everybody can qualify. Actually, there is a phase where everybody can qualify. And we're now in the group phase of the tournament. And it's 4 matches today. I will cast 3 of them. Very famous YouTubers, very famous pro players are in those leagues. How did that Imperial clan make RPL? I haven't seen the matches, but I think they played well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. They must be great players. Tucker, you read all my messages, but not the one where I ask you if you want to see my new first overlay. Yeah, sure, I want to see your overlay. So, Jorge won against Colton. That's a big surprise. Jorge won against Colton here. Big surprise. P.E.K.K.As galore, yes. Team Queso is just too good, but they just lost the match. But yeah, Team Queso is awesome. It's, I mean, they won last season. They won. I mean, it's a great team. Sample 2. Team Queso is an awesome team. Now guys, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch as always. So if you feel lonesome on Twitch, join us on YouTube. There's the link. Can we have a friendly match? Not right now as I'm casting this. Next is Pablo against Variko. Okay, so that's the first match here. Good. Let's go on. Guess she's coming back into the meta. Here's the Battle Ram. Pablo playing Battle Ram, P.E.K.K.A or 3 Musky or both. And Variko, a minor deck. What could it be? Daniel Collin, thanks for the follow. Kashif Lover, thanks for the follow. Lover, that sounds great. Rocket League, thanks for the follow. Then you on Twitter. Okay, I'll check it. Let me check it now. Let me check it now. Oh, that looks beautiful, Soccer. Great overlay. I love the glow effect it has on that overlay. Dragon, I got a new spinner. I still have the old one. 3 Muskies are banned. Yeah, they cannot play 3 Muskies. True, yes. At least somebody pays attention. Thank you. Niji 0421. Thanks so much. So yeah, 3 Muskies are banned. But I think they play P.E.K.K.A as well. Let's see. Oh. The Inferno Dragon is locked to the tower. That is bad. That is tower down here. And Pablo winning this at the moment. But it's not over yet. It's still 1 minute to go. And we still haven't seen the last card of both players. Now Pablo plays a bandit. Pushing left lane. Keeping the pressure. Keeping the pressure up. And poison the tower as well, which is actually a good move there because it's also poisoning the Night Witch and all the bats. Battleram Bandit hit the tower. Wow, look at this. They do a lot of damage there. Holy cow, are they doing a lot of damage. And now Variko is pushing with a Giant and a Battleram. Did I just see a Battleram? No. I thought I've seen a Battleram, but it wasn't true. He doesn't even have it. And yeah, he's burning that Giant easily. And Night Witch going against the Inferno Dragon. He still needs to take that tower. He's trying with the minor poison combo there. But gets only a few hits. And it's too late. It's over. Another victory here for Imperial Utopia. I gotta learn that name. Hammer it in my brain. Imperial Utopia. So, Daniel Glenn, thanks for the sub. And Dan Peo, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Daniel Glenn, thanks for the sub. You're the first subscriber today on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, Kendall Swagger, because of Avalon. What? Oh my god, the fidget spinner is still a thing. Because of me. Probably. I lost mine in Alabama. And I got a new one yesterday. Okay. Awake till 8 AM this morning. Wow. 41-51 is the next battle. And the names are Jorge-xtg versus Mthja. Mthja. There you go. There you go. I put it in the YouTube description, so when later on you want to see a special battle again, you can just click the time code on YouTube. And the Swagger, because as soon as I say that Queso is amazing, they start losing. I think it's because they also rotate their players. And usually in the first set, we've seen that in Season 2. They let the strongest players start to make sure they win, and then they switch. Like, I'm not saying other players are not strong, but they are of course like those really pro top players, and they kind of use them strategically, usually not as the first. And they give everyone a chance to play. I think it's really well how they shuffle their team. That's one of the strategies that they really use in Team Queso to make sure everybody gets a chance to play and they're not losing. I mean, it's always a balance between giving everyone a chance to play and winning. And I think that's one of the secrets of Team Queso. They do that really, really well. They're not a meme anymore, but people still use them. Bye bye, Dragon's Tube. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know if I should want to join Discord. I don't know if I want to start it. Okay, let's watch him. Mthja, awesome player, won his first match. And now he's going against Jorge. And playing the bowler deck. Let's check the decks. This is a typical poison graveyard attack. Well defended though, he has great defenses against that. Many defensive cards. I think Mthja has the stronger deck. Because with that minor he can always like do chip damage. Also with the poison minor combo he can do chip damage. And in the long run, that should pay. And we'll see. We'll see. It always depends also a bit on starting luck and skill. But just from the decks, I say here the advantage is on Mthja. Bye bye, Dragon's Tube. Pratmar saying. So what do you guys think? Who's gonna win? It's only 7 seconds here before overtime. 5 seconds! I hope you guys having a wonderful weekend, by the way. Do we still have German viewers? Hat's immer noch deutsche Zuschauer? Liebe Grüße an alle deutschen Zuschauer. Ich hoffe, ihr versteht mich, wenn ich Englisch spreche. I hope you guys understand me. All the German viewers when I speak English. And I'm really happy that we have more German viewers. We used to have more, actually. And then some German streamers became really big. And we lost some German viewers, I guess. And we only won... I mean... We won mainly English-speaking viewers. And... basically from all around the world, people that speak English. So, and yeah, I was totally wrong because Jorge just won this battle. I was totally wrong. But Graveyard Poison gets a lot of damage. Pratmar Singh was right. He was right, and Jorge won. No German people here. Okay. Jorge won. So second set for Imperial Utopia. We're going to set number 3. Set number 3 is next. Set number 3. And now they can ban a card. Let's make sure my text here is not deleted all of a sudden. I gotta copy it. Oh, get away. Oh. Akshay Kumar, thanks for the sub. Thank you so much. I can't see my screen. Can I minimize this window? Unfortunately not. Akshay Kumar, you're the second subscriber on YouTube today. Yeah, it's a bit slower when we have Royal Premier League on YouTube and not the tournaments, but still, I'm very happy we have great viewers here. Yeah, let me close this. Probably not the best idea. Harsh786, thanks for the follow. How many teams will play today? It's 8 teams. It's 8 teams playing today. I speak German, says Supercell Games and more. Cool. And sit down, please. I'm German. Great. Great, you're still here. Awesome. I hope you understand. How many teams will play today? It's 8 teams, but I will only able to cast the first 3 matches. Name of my tournament is always... okay. I'm coming back in a little. Darian Romy. Okay, see you then. Hope you're coming back. So we're going to the third set here of Team Queso match. The next one will be Alpha eSports against Giants Gaming. Also great teams. Alpha eSports, also very popular team. Very famous team actually. And I won't be able to cast Mega Smiley. But I will cast 3 of the matches. Sit down please. I love your content. Thank you so much. Sit down please. Very nice. I guess I speak German as well. Okay. Yeah, my fidget spinner since yesterday, when I dropped it in the stream, it's not turning that well anymore. So, Graveyard is banned. Wow, that's gonna be very interesting. Now, the 3 Musketeers and the Graveyard is banned. Set 27? Holy cow, what a typo. That's what it is. Graveyard and 3 Muskies are banned now, so I'm curious what decks they will play. They should also ban the P.E.K.K.A. I'm disappointing someone, why? Soccer, why? 3 sets, yes. We can enjoy Team Queso for 3 sets. And Darian Romy is already back. Great. Can we start? We're ready. I'm very small. I'm very small today, like really small here. But we can start. I'm fine. We can start. Let's go with the yellow fidget. Put it on the nose. And you guys tell me when we start. You guys just tell me when we start. We can start. Soking is ready. Everybody's ready. But the chart is not ready. Check it out. The opponent's missing on the chart. I'm not answering the Skype call. I'm not using Skype. People always ask me for my Skype, but I'm not really using it. I used it once to interview Clash with Ash. Besides that, I'm usually not using Skype. Song request taken, okay. There was an error requesting the song. I go on to the stream and see 23 viewers, and on the tournament you get like 200 something. I see. What? Yeah, that's usually the case. I mean, like, that's true. People don't know the Royal Premier League that well yet in Europe, and so we have a little bit less viewers on Royal Premier League than in my regular streams, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still a lot of fun and we enjoy it, and the true fans still watch. And then of course the viewers are always split between Twitch and YouTube. So at the moment we're having how many? 25 on YouTube and 23 on Twitch, which is 48 in total. 52 actually it displays to me. And that's actually a good number. 52 is a great number of viewers. I'm very happy with that. 50 viewers is a great number. Thanks for being here. To all the 52 viewers, you rock, you're awesome. Okay, next match. I almost accepted it. Ice and a real viewer. You're the best. You're the best. People that don't just come for tourneys, but also for the stream. Here, it's Pablo against Soking. And time code 52. 52 minutes in the stream. 52 minutes in the stream. And we have Pablo 15 versus Soking. That's the first match of set number 3. There you go. I'm adding those times so that you guys, when you review this live stream, and I don't have to make a separate video, so you can basically just watch this stream and you will have time codes and can jump to any match that you're interested in. It's gonna be in the video description. And yeah, I'm very hyped for Royal Premier League. It's a lot of fun. I will also stream Royal Premier League tomorrow, and it will be at the time when I usually do a tournament. So I know how exactly we do that. Maybe do the tourney afterwards. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Or do it in parallel or whatever. We'll see. So this is set number 3 of my favorite team. Yeah, I confess, I'm a fan of Team Queso. Team Queso. If they would ask me, I would join their team, of course, but I haven't joined the team yet. People don't know the profit of seeing this RPL. It's the real deal. I prefer those over tourneys. You can only win in tourney if you know to play well. Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually. People probably don't know yet in Europe that the Royal Premier League is really the thing. I mean, it's all those top players that you usually watch on Supercell's worldwide Clash Royale tournament. It's the same players that also play in Royal Premier League. And so it's really awesome gameplay. You can learn from the best when you watch Royal Premier League. So I would definitely recommend to watch this. You can learn a lot. Captain Fraise, hello. And Sample, this is my first time ever in stream. I just wanted to watch some RPL. Sample, that's great. We love the RPL viewers. Unlogical Gamers, thanks for the follow. Tomorrow no tournament? Probably yes. Probably there will be a tournament. Trainer is a real viewer. Just don't do a tournament. Awesome. I'm real as well, Soccer. Yes. All my favorite viewers are here. The people that watch the stream for the stream and not to win gems or stuff. But the other ones are also real viewers, I mean. This is a 3 crown win! Unbelievable! Pablo wins 3 crown and we missed it. So it's 1-0 for Imperial Utopia. Holy. That's a big surprise. That's a very big surprise. I'd call this a big surprise. Chicken Licken! Thanks for the follow! And Hero Smasher! Playing in the car without good internet is not good, says Soking. Yeah, I'm not allowed to type. Otherwise I type. Why is he in the car? Why is he in the car when he's playing Royal Premier League? He shouldn't be in the car when he plays Royal Premier League. For all the German viewers, let me quickly explain in German. Royal Premier League ist eine Liga mit den besten Teams. Oh, Surgical. Surgical is on 56. With the best teams, die besten Spieler in der Liga spielen für den Titel in der Royal Premier League. So, let's go. Top 10. It's like a Renak versus Surgical Goblin. He's such a nice guy and he's Dutch. Surgical Goblin. That's the next match. Xero Smasher, you can't share the link here. Nightbot will remove the links. The YouTube channel that usually organizes Clash events. I mention it on case you are interested. Sorry for the bad English. I use Google Translator. No problem. Any tourneys? Yes, this is the Royal Premier League tournament. I think it has a cash prize of about 1,000. Amazing. Wie kann man da mitmachen? Richard Schortmann. He asks how he can participate. Let me quickly explain in German. Also, um im Royal Premier League mitzumachen, brauchst du ein Team. Und dieses Team kann man anmelden und muss dann eine Vorausscheidung bestreiten, also Vorkämpfe. Und wenn man dort gut genug abschneidet, kommt man in die Gruppenphase mit dem Team und kann... Wow, look at that log! That log fail. Und kann dann mitmachen bis ins Finale. Und ich glaube, $1,000 kann man gewinnen. So, also in English quickly. To participate in Royal Premier League, you have to be in a team, and then you have to participate in a first group phase, and the best teams from that phase will join the group phase, and that's where we're at the moment. And after the group phase, there will be a bracket phase with the finals, and then the winner will win a big prize, and I think it's actually $1,000. At least that's what it was last time. And we also had the RPL champion Europe against the RPL champion US. So that's what it is. RPL. That's what it is. If you're a team, there's also the link in my RPL video description here. For this video, there is a description and there you can check the homepage of Royal Premier League. Also der Link ist in der Beschreibung des Videos, da kannst du schauen. Da hat es einen Link auf Royal Premier League mit all den Infos, wann die Season startet und so weiter. So, let's get back to English. Surgical taking the first tower, only 7 seconds to go, and I think Surgical wins that one here with the Goblin Barrel. Good game. I couldn't watch it because I was explaining. Okay, Surgical, nice win there, congrats. I will watch the replay there. I missed the battle. I will have to watch the replay. So we have the third match. The third match will be Colton. Let's watch Colton. Serch doesn't lose. Serch doesn't lose. Yeah, he played really well. Now, I'm gonna try and watch the next battle, really to learn something. from the best. I think I learned a lot in last Royal Premier League season when I watched all those battles. I really learned a lot. And I think we were actually first to see that the badz is the next card. That will be in the meta. I think we've seen that in Royal Premier League first. Jorge-xtg 15 versus Colton. My friend Colton! A rocket on the pump. Nice one. I saw him lose to Baron. That did. Okay. I guess he needs to add arrows and executioner. The Jonathan. So let's see. Colton, what deck is he playing here? They're not allowed Graveyard and 3 Muskies. And yeah, the baby dragon just frozen, but it gets a few hits. And he's also playing Night Witch. Goblin Barrel Rocket is definitely strong. The Battle Ram, there's the Battle Ram. Maybe Battle Ram heal. Battle Ram Poison. Colton plays Battle Ram Poison. He lost his first match today. But this attack was good. Look at the bats. Look at the bats. Dang, those bats. And the witch and the bandit. And that's first tower. Well played. Well played. Let's cheer for Jorge. Golem. Yeah, probably Colton also plays the Golem. We haven't seen it yet, but looks like. Where's the music? The music just stopped somehow. Yeah. Somehow, the music stopped. Weird. Isn't that weird? Okay, music is back. Don't worry, the music is back. The music is back. Yeah, I think once Colton is in the lead, he's not gonna lose that. He's not gonna lose that. He's keeping the pressure high there with that Pekka. Pekka is at the tower. Yeah, the bandit, I mean, there's basically no way Jorge can catch up here. The tower is almost dead. 13 seconds to go. Yeah, there's the next witch. I think they both know that it's over. He still fires the rocket, but they both know it's over. A nice win there for Colton. Nice win for Colton. It's already on the chart before it's over. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, next is Jorge-xtg against Mthja. The Pekka. Okay, it was the Pekka, not the Golem. So the next match at 1 hour 3 minutes. 1 hour 3 minutes 0-0. It's the next match. It's almost over. Actually, the next round already starts. You gotta switch clan afterwards, I guess. This is Jorge-xtg versus Mthja. There you go. Set number 3. Oops, Pekka. Okay. Jorge. So, if Jorge wins, we're gonna have the 5th battle with Ronke against Manu. And if Mthja wins, and I actually think Mthja will win this, then it's over and Team Queso wins. Because this is the 3rd set. There's the poison. Poison. Poison, poison, poison! Don't poison them. I'm looking forward to seeing if Mthja is actually good. He's a new member, the Jonathan. Where are you from, Jonathan? Are you in one of the teams, Jonathan? In Team Queso? I think we've seen Mthja last season. Or was he in a different team? Sit down, please. Ich muss auf. Bis morgen. Habt noch einen schönen Stream. Danke vielmals und schönen Abend noch. Sit down, please. Genieß es. Schönen Abend. Subscribe auf YouTube noch. Please subscribe to YouTube as well. Don't miss streams and videos. Let me share that link. Mthja is good. Yeah, he is. He is. Is there actually also female players in the league? That's what I want. We're just saying he, but we don't actually know if he's a he. We're just assuming that Mthja is a he. Wouldn't it be fun to have an all-female team? That would be fun. Ouch. I shouldn't bite the fidget. Ah. The Sloth Gamer, thanks for the follow. Yeah, you shouldn't bite. You shouldn't bite on those fidgets. Guys, did you see my Twitch followship went totally crazy the last few weeks? I'm now almost at 5k Twitch followers. Unbelievable. And I never really pushed Twitch. Sit down, please. I subbed already. That's amazing. Vielen Dank. Herzlichen Dank. Woo! Awesome. Please say yeah. Daria and Romy. There you go. I actually hope we make it to 15,000 subscribers this week so that we can have the 10k tournament. Maybe we do it anyways. We'll see. Luxters. Yes, I do remember you. Those are bots? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Some of them may be bots. That's weird though. And Mthja is the winner. And just like that, Team Queso wins. Congrats, Team Queso. GG. Yay. The team was in RPL, but we got EQ because one of our teammates. Okay. My team was in RPL. Okay. How are you doing, Chief? I'm doing great, Vincent. So it's over. GG. Congrats. Team Queso. They're already leaving. Dang! I haven't even sent. It's a bug from Twitch? I don't know. I still take the subs. Jose Vera! I love your videos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, do I have to switch clans for part 2? I guess so. I think I have to switch clan. Let me quickly check. I think I have to leave and go to RPL 2 for the second match. Let's see. Where is it? RPL 2. Next match at RPL 2. There you go. So let's go there. Leave. Yes. Then RPL 2. Search. I think it's this one. So the second match is gonna be there. I hope they accept. I hope they accept. Awesome. And there we are. Now, I gotta switch this overlay here. Just a second. Now, next team is Mega Smiley. No, that's not true. Next team is Alpha eSports against Giant Gaming. That's the next match. Alpha eSports against Giant Gaming. Let's copy this. Alpha eSports against Giant Gaming. Okay. There you go. Nice one. We got the new chart over there. Alpha eSports against Giant Gaming. And that starts at 1 hour and 10. 1 hour 10. 1 hour 10. 1 hour 10. Let's make it 1 hour 40. Start. Like here, we make it 05 start. I don't know exactly when this was. So the first match is Imperial Utopia. And the second match, let's add some stars here. There you go. This, so that we see that that's a new match. Number 2, Alpha eSports. Set number 1. We're ready! We're ready! We're ready! Ready to get started! Oh, hey Chief, what's your favorite card? My favorite card is the Princess at the moment. I really love the mechanics of the Princess. I want to do a match with the pros. I'm not allowed to do matches, especially not when they're preparing. I mean, can you do a tournament for free? Not today. Not today. Today we're enjoying the Royal Premier League. Scoreboard. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm gonna chat anyways. I'm gonna chat anyways. We're not allowed to chat. But Avalon doesn't mind rules. They may kick me. This is my first day on Twitch and this is the first direct I see. I'm enjoying it, although I do not understand anything. Darian! You don't understand. Ich hoffe, du verstehst etwas, Darian. I said it for previous clan, RPL 1. Why not? Today we have RPL. Oh, it's already the first battle. Spectate. Spectate. So we have Nekroz versus El Destructor. El Destructor. That's a cool Spanish name. El Destructor. And we're in set number 1. Bang. There you go. Okay. Let's go. Oh, the Inferno Dragon. Dang. But it was almost dead. Team Queso won, yes. Jose Vieira, here's a shout out. Soccer, going to stream for real. Good. Good luck, enjoy it. Faro, yeah, Team Queso won. 3-1. No, 2 to 1. 2 sets to 1 set. Tyron Romy. I don't speak English. Ah. Ja, you can stay here and learn. Du kannst einfach hier bleiben und Englisch lernen. We're always saying the same things. Wir sagen immer das Gleiche. Because it's the same game. Weil es immer dasselbe Spiel ist. Are you going to do a tournament? Vince da Costa. Today it's just Royal Premier League. It's not one of my regular stream days. Those are Monday, Wednesday and Saturday. And so, yeah. No tourney today. Except for Royal Premier League tourney. Where you can learn how the pros play. So there's another fireball. I think we'll do a tournament tomorrow. I will be streaming Royal Premier League as well, but I think we're gonna do a tournament. Let me check the time. Tomorrow. Why do I not have a date here? Yeah, tomorrow is one match. That will be at 9. That's when the tourney usually starts. Staying instrument, learning English helped me. So German people should stay, yes. Okay, Nekroz won the first match. So that means that's Team Alpha eSports. Alpha eSports. I really like the new banners. They're looking cool. Alpha eSports. Let's check Twitter for a moment. Let's check Twitter. Okay. Name of my tournament. Always Chief Avalon. We're going for the second match. There you go. Amin. 116, 117. 117. 0-0. And iTrix replays. Thanks for the follow. I don't know if it's not real follows. Will Twitch clean them up someday or not? We don't know. Alpha Esports. You should watch that team. It's a great team. It's a great team. Alpha Esports. 1 second, please. Now there they go. Oh, and this is Amin versus Termisfa. Good. Good. That will be very cool, guys. In my video description, you will have all those direct links to the battle. So when you want to see one specific battle, you can just jump there and watch it. That's why I'm always taking notes here of the dates when a battle starts. And it's easier to do it right away. See you, Chief. Gotta go. Faro. Bye bye. Have an awesome evening. Wunderschönen Abend. Have an awesome evening, Faro. Bye bye. No, Siri. You shut up. Shut up, Siri. We don't want you. Siri, shut up. Okay, let's see. Amin against Termisfa. Playing the baby dragon back there. And Amin playing the Inferno Dragon. And Inferno Dragon is burned. Of course it's burned. Nice fireball. And Bandit goes for Night Witch. And now finally the Electro Wizard is dead. And burn, giant burn. There's the Battle Ram. Battle Ram is stopped by the Knight, but still hits the tower. And the Inferno Dragon wasn't enough to take out that Knight. That Knight. Yes, it's a great stream. Thank you so much, Dyrion. And we had a lock fail. Actually, it's the only fail I've seen so far. Most of them really play well. And doesn't give anything for my fail videos so far. I have a lot of stuff for fail videos. Actually, 2 fail videos are currently in production. Fail compilation videos are in production. I want to do a Royal Premier League fail compilation, but those guys almost never fail. Like really funny fails. Stuff like that. So the bandit there defending against the graveyard. Yeah, it's been poisoned. The bandit is poisoned. That was a good value there out of that graveyard poison. Awesome. Now Amin is pushing, but that battle ram doesn't get there. But yeah, the barbs. Distracted by the giant. One barb. Got 1 hit at the tower. 1 hit at the tower. And picture looks weird. It's like it's lagging. Almost looks like it's lagging, but it's not lagging. It never lags! But it looks like it's lagging. Cheetah Sideman, thanks for the follow. So, next one. RPL fail, you'll have to wait 10 years for that. Yeah, it looks like. What tourney? This is the Royal Premier League tourney. Olivier Gonçalves. Royal Premier League. Yeah, it's not lagging, but it looked on my screen like it's lagging. So, I never have lag. So that confused me there. So the next battle is 121-42. 121-42. And that is the Prince versus zTeemper. Yeah, it looked weird on my screen. But I think it was just the effect. Like just the effect that looked like it's lagging. It actually looks okay. Yeah. Also over there on my monitor looks okay. Wumpy Wumpers! Thanks for the follow. Wumpy Wumpers. Nightbot said that the pass will be given, but is there a tourney? No, that's just Nightbot stating this regularly. I started installing things randomly and ended here. What a good way to spend the day. Cool. That's awesome, Darian. The Prince in trouble. Yep. And yeah, he needs to win. Oh, they are behind. Both need to win. I think the giant deck, I don't like to play the giant in those real battles, but 3 Muskets here, you see it very strong. See how those 3 Muskets take out everything and they're not even in the poison. And now there are those 3 Muskets. Thanks for the follow. The 3 Muskets and the Battle Ram, that's really a massive attack there. And they're healing, 3 Muskie heal, killing the Night Witch. And he will just take the second tower. The Prince is really in trouble there. I think it could even be a 3 crown. Very strong match here. Like another example of Scissor Stone Paper here, where he can't really fight against Battle Ram and 3 Muskies. There's the Battle Ram. Stopped. Very close one. Very close one. Heal is key. He actually almost has 1 tower. At least. There's the next bandit. But that died. And the next 3 Muskies healed up again. He's got 1 tower. Gucci Freddy, thanks for the follow. And there's the next battle ram. He's just fighting not to be 3 crowned right now. And he manages that. Well played. Oh, the bandit! Did you see that? The bandit going for the tower, but it was already over. It was already over. The bandit was stopped. It was over. It is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is the next regular live stream. And Tracy in the house, hey! You can't give 3 musky heal an early tower because it's so OP in 2 times elixir. No 3 musky heal is best defense. Yep, that's true. Great battle. And one more win and they win the first set. Tomorrow will be the next regular live stream and that's those where we usually do the tournaments. Slayer. Slayer is next. jjjlll. Never heard of. So, if Giants win this one, they win the first set. But can he win? He's very unlucky there with that graveyard, like the skellies really spawn on the outside and couldn't get to the tower. I'm so happy! One more sub and I hit 180. Great, Tracy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Here's my schedule, in case you don't know. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday are the regular streams. I'm too tired. Thanks for the follow. Problem is, Royal Premier League tomorrow will be exactly at the time where we usually do the tournament. So I don't know. Either we do it afterwards or earlier. I don't know yet. Bratmer saying I'm your 180. Congrats, Tracy. That's great. I'm still trying to get to 15k. I feel like the sub counter is not working today. Yeah. It's one sub missing there on the sub count. It's not right. Yesterday we had 14,300 and some people unsubbed like every day or YouTube deleted them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And since there is no tourney, we have no new subs on YouTube, but we have a lot of subs on Twitch. Did you see how big Twitch has become? It's 1/3 of YouTube now. And it used to be way less. Recently Twitch has been growing like crazy. Maybe it's the new design they have. So guys, do you know those two teams? I know Alpha eSports, but honestly, the Giants gaming, I'm not sure. I mean, Reddit Alpha is very popular, very well known. So who won? jjjlll won. Your sub count is 14,291. Yeah, it's not showing properly, I guess. Next goal 250. You will do it. Just keep pushing. So that was set number 1. Next is set number 2. And I'm curious what card they will ban. What card will they ban? Let's open the chest in the meantime and see what we get. Goblin Gang, Minion Horde, Tombstone. The Bowler! Yes! I love the Bowler. Oh, yeah, the Bandit. I just bought the Bandit, guys. I bought the Bandit. It's the only card I was missing on my mini. Except for the Lumberjack. I'm also missing the Lumberjack. So they can choose a card now to ban. We unlock this here. Can we do a 2v2? Just for fun. while we wait. Or shall I try to fix the sub count? Let me try to fix the sub counter. Hey subscribers, where are you? No. There's the YouTube subs. Ah, they're taken from the file. Okay. So let's restart this. Maybe this helps. $14,290. I don't know. Free Musky ban or Night Witch ban? Yeah, probably. Or heal. Creek! Oliver Gonsalves. Hey, hey. Let's do a 2v2 quickly. A quick match, 2v2. While we wait, let's do a quick match, 2v2. Good luck. Aiden Cross, thanks for the follow. Okay. This is... Look at this hand. Dang. What can I do? Oh, we both play it. Okay. Oh, he missed him. He missed the musketeer. How can you miss the musketeer with the fireball? Come on. That was horrible. Horrible. That could cost us the match, actually. Yeah, but it happens, you know. It can happen. It can happen to the best. Okay, let's play the Dirty Mortar. Oh! What the heck? This guy. What the heck is he doing there? Blocking my mortar. Somehow my bandit died. And he woke up the tower. That's weird. That's weird. Can we be in-game friends? With my main account it's Facebook. What the heck is he doing? It's not working. This is not working. It's so desperate. I'm getting feral stickers for fans. Cool. So this is the Facebook for my main account. I don't have friends on my mini. Yeah, we lose anyways. Horrible. Horrible! Horrible. Why is he dropping the Inferno Dragon over there? It's like he's trying to lose. It's like he's trying to lose. Unbelievable. Horrible gameplay there. Horrible gameplay. Heal is banned. Okay. Guys, that was horrible gameplay. Unbelievable. Can we do a 2v2? Do I have friends here? On my mini? Almost no friends. Actually, only my other accounts are friends. So maybe I can share it. Quickly go to this screen. Good match, yeah, really. That was a good match. Okay. Let's try to post this link somehow. Ah, dang, I'm on the wrong... No, I can't post it. Not gonna work. Because it's the wrong iPad. Not gonna work. Great partner! Yeah, that was a great partner. It was like he was trying to lose on purpose. Really weird. Heal is banned. Like really, he's trying to lose on purpose. Great partner. Just a second. I'm back! Made myself invisible. I've never seen someone as pro as him. Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome. I don't know what he did. Our decks were not bad. We could have won this. We could have won, I mean. We had the Golem and Inferno Dragons and stuff. So, I mean, this is actually one of the decks that Boom played there. Is one of the decks that I have a video on because it's really strong. With the double dragon, it's a really strong deck. If you push properly. But yeah, it happens. You're in luck you met me, sing. Can I get gems? I would like gems. Okay, shall we play another one while we wait? Let's try again. Where you can find your friend link. I can't send it here. There's no way, no smart way I can copy it here on the iPad and put it into the chat. Because it's the wrong path. Ah, the wizard. The wizard boy is also there. Nice one. That was a nice log. At least the bats. The bats just died. On Facebook you can connect with my main. Dang, it's too far away. What a stupid placement. Now, it's me being very stupid here with that placement. Gonna cast as the tower. Except on Facebook. I will. But it's the main account on Facebook, so... And not this one. This was horrible. It's all my fault. I placed my mortar too far away. It's all my fault. I have to take the blame on this one. Zachary Lozano, thanks for the follow. I have to take the blame on that one. It was all my fault. Ah. Okay. We still have a chance to get one tower. It's not over. It's not over. Yeah, one mortar shell and a rocket will do it. Bang. Oh, kill him. Yes, one. Awesome. Oh, the witch. That's a nice bait. Nice for me. There you go. And here we're gonna defend. We're getting better. We're getting better. Very slowly. Nice lightning. Take him. Now the battle ram. We can make it. Come on. Yes, nice push. Ah, that tornado though. Super annoying tornado. Get the next crown to win. We're trying. We're trying. Come on, fire a shell at that tower. Will you? Battle ram. Yes, 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 we're there. We're there. Stop it with the tornado, please. No, not this guy again. Got the double dragon. Wow, that was too pushy. Too pushy. But we might actually make it. Gonna hit the witch. And lightning, please. Lightning and fire, and that's it. Come on, put the lightning. Do it. Yes. Good game. Well played. Good game. Played well. There you go. Nice one. Let's go back. I think they're already battling. Yes. Dang, we missed it. Spectate. Oh, they're already in the battle. So, let's put the time code. 1 hour 41. 1 hour 41:10. And it's the Prince versus Ray 845 YouTube. There you go. Set number 2. Okay. Hey, ich bin in den Ferien und mein Account ist bei 5000. Ich habe gerade viel Zeit für Leute pushen für Informationen an. Okay. What's Chief Avalon's Facebook page? That's easy. This one. Someone please send the link. Here's my Facebook. And yeah, let me quickly accept. That was a fun battle. I love 2v2. I hope it remains in the game forever. 2v2 is the best. It just is the best. 2v2. It is the best. Beast 2v2. What a beast. The best beast. Okay, the Prince. The Prince is losing this one. Poison at the tower, only 10 seconds. Very tough for Prince here. He's trying with a giant. But can he support? Yeah, the minion horde. That minion horde taking out the giant. Very difficult. And still 5 minions alive. And the miner. That's it. I think that's it. Almost impossible to defend. But he did it. But yeah, 1 poison is not enough. But poison zap will do it. And it's the same story here. That poison is too late to save the giant. Not enough damage. Very close. Actually, Yirei just needs to poison, and yeah, that's it. Good game. Good game! It's over! Good game! What about the slider here? The slider is not working anymore. Slider has disappeared. Very weird. Amin is next. Yeah, there's the slider. 143.51. Appreciate the links. You're welcome. Unfortunately, I can't share the link to the mini right now. Prince lost both matches. That's hard luck, yeah. There you go. Next match is on. It's Amin versus Serch. Bane. At number 2. Giants in the lead. But yeah, they won the first set. So if they win this, it's game. Prince lost both matches. I gotta close this window here. Yeah, guys, sub, because now it's 14,293. You gotta sub to my YouTube at 15,000, but that's not the reason actually. You gotta sub because of the cool content. At 15,000, you're gonna have a 10,000 gems tournament. This is my live stream schedule: Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. That's where I usually stream. Sunday is just for Royal Premier League or exceptions. But on those days, I always stream, except on vacation. But yeah, I always stream on those days. And all other days where I stream is exceptions. Like this is my regular schedule. This is all my main social media down there. YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and also Snapchat. And if you send me a snap during a stream, I will actually show it in the chat. Let me see if we got a snap. Maybe we got a snap. I didn't check. No snaps. No snaps. And also no requests. No friend requests, no snaps. So, Aaron, how did you create the background? It looks cool. Do you mean the background here behind me? That's from one of the Clash Royale videos. I think in the starting sequence where you have this camera looking into the arena, and I took that picture from the starting sequence. But yeah, I really like it. I've had it for a while now, and I still like it. Usually I like to change stuff, but this one I really like. But there's the battle ram and the P.E.K.K.A. That P.E.K.K.A. is lured to the center. Got the witch, the bandit. Now the P.E.K.K.A. No, again. Distracted by the ice golem. Next battle ram by Serch Spain. Not gonna get there. I think the P.E.K.K.A. there on the right lane is very dangerous. Amin has a lot of elixir. And he's pushing with the battle ram and the P.E.K.K.A. there. Nice distraction by the ice golem. Did we get a snap? No. Now I'm snap nervous. Snap nervous. I'm nervous. Yeah, there you see the P.E.K.K.A. is gonna get the tower. And that's a win for Amin. The chart is not updated. The chart is not up to date. That's a win for Amin. Muammar Shahryar Ucho, hey, welcome. Chart is not updated. For me. Weird. Weird but true. Okay, next match. Renak against Nekroz. That's the next match. That's the next match. There you go. What's all those noises here? My ears start to hurt. So, 148.17. 148.17. We're still waiting. Muammar Shahryar Ucho, thanks for the sub. Awesome, thank you so much. So 148.17. We're still waiting. We're waiting. Waiting. Are you waiting for the good times? Thank you for the sub. One sub closer to 15,000. Oh, we're waiting. Still wait. Oh, now. Okay, there you go. So time code 149.07. 49.07. And it's Nekroz versus Renak. I don't know any of those players, guys. I don't know them yet. That doesn't mean they're bad. It just means we don't know them yet. And I'm curious to see how they play. When's the next 15,000 gems tournament? Bleeman. Hey, the next 10k, 15k doesn't exist, but the 10k tourney will be once we hit 15,000 subscribers. And I actually hope it's before my vacation, so it's gotta be within next week. It's gonna be super close. Super close. So once we hit 15,000 subscribers, we're gonna have that tourney. But maybe I'll do it before my vacation anyways. We'll see, we'll see. There's the witch. She's just dying. No, she's not dying, she's killing. The killer witch. 15k tourney, I wanna be in it. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. The big tourneys are gone. I never had a chance in those big tourneys. Look at this, the battle ram, and yes, it hit. Bandit is not the best in defense, but it's great in attack. Like there, it takes out the Electro with almost. And he's leaking a lot of elixir there, Nekroz. I think he should be careful not to leak so many elixir. And now Bandit going for Witch. Nice one, nice one. Nice hit at the tower with the Bandit. That's what I mean. The Bandit is always good for a surprise hit at the tower. And so Renak was able to catch up. And there's the P.E.K.K.A. So what does he have to stop that P.E.K.K.A? Probably not. Again, 3 Muskies, okay. He leaked elixir again, did you see that? Nekroz leaking elixir. He's waiting 1 or 2 seconds too long before he drops the units, and then he always leaks a little bit of elixir. Okay, Musk is still alive, he doesn't have heal though. But the Muskies will take out everything that's there. And even protected by the Ice Golem, that's a very dangerous push. And also on the left lane, dangerous push with Witch and Barbs. That's gonna take the left tower and the right tower at the same time. And that's game. Awesome play there. Awesome. That was an awesome match by Nekroz. Awesome match. Unbelievable. So that means it's 2-1 for Alpha eSports. Alpha eSports. Okay. Waiting for next match. If there are like 20 subs left, if there are like 15 subs left from 15k and just 1 day left for your vacation, what will you do? I'll probably do it anyways then. Next match. Time code 152.53. 152.53. And this is Slayer. You gotta take those time codes immediately, otherwise it doesn't work. Termisfa. Otherwise it's so much work to find them later on in the video. But if you put them in immediately, that works. So, Nitq is back. Hey Nitq! We're playing Royal Premier League today. Iloka correct. Y directo tan mierda. Hey, don't swear, Willy. We understand Spanish. Nitq, welcome back. Willy too. Be nice, Willy. Be a nice Willy. Be nice, Willy. Nitq. Yeah, Royal Premier League. The top pro teams of Europe fighting in Royal Premier League. Awesome gameplay here. Learn from the best when watching Royal Premier League. There is an Inferno Dragon. And that needs to be handled. Yes, good. He has a lot of health. But it's dead. Well played, well countered. I'm so small today. So small on this overlay. I look so small. Yeah, but I could get used to it. Actually, the story is, I got this overlay and I didn't have time to really make it. And then I wanted to use the old overlay, and then I saw that it doesn't really match with the chart over there. And so, in a hurry, within 5 minutes, I fixed this overlay here. to be able to stream with a proper overlay for Royal Premier League, and it doesn't look bad. Inferno Dragon, great in defense, and this is a strong push. Battle Ram left and Inferno on the right. But Inferno is dead. Almost dead. Nightwitch, he defended both pushes, well played. Termisfa, playing the Vietnam deck. It has 75% win rate. Really? Why is it called Vietnam deck? I've never heard that. The Vietnam deck. But he just lost. He just lost the tower. The Vietnam deck. I've never heard of that. Layer 1. That defense. Wow. That was great. And so the second set goes to Alpha eSports. And we're gonna also have a set number 3 here. Set 3 here. Today everybody plays for 3 sets. Unbelievable. It's called Vietnam deck because my people made it. Okay. Brian Tran. Okay. Because there are 2 pro from Vietnam made it. Clash with Ash. Ah, okay. Called Vietnamese deck because Vietnamese guy created it. Saw it on Clash with Ash. Everybody's seen it on Clash with Ash. Brian Tran. I feel proud. Yes, a lot of people play this one. Alpha eSports has won the second captain of globally banned for the third period. Okay. 5-minute strategy timeout. That means we're gonna play a 2v2. We're gonna play a 2v2. A 2v2 quick match. Voila the bot in the house. Hey, voila. Welcome. We're having Royal Premier League today. I'm gonna play Mortar over here. He can take care of that stuff. There you go. I knew it. I knew that he can take care of this. Dang. Oh no. I have to play the log there. A dirty little battle ram. Can we sneak it in? No. They have 2 buildings. Yes, let's play a defensive mortar. Dang, 1 challenge is dead. Yeah, now they're thinking. They're thinking hard. 2 hogs? Really? My Inferno Dragon was a bit too close. Somehow it went too close. Let's first play this. Then let's play this. Then let's play this. Yeah, that's why. Because I know they have all those buildings. I'm on mortar, 1 more shell. And then let's go with a battle ram and see if they still have that Inferno Tower ready. Just lost the tower. No, we can't get there. Well played. Well played. What's in the chat? Sorry on Clash with Ash. I feel proud. Finally, Vietnamese people did something right. I think it's not the only thing. Clash with Ash should invite Chief Pat to give us some Rocket Pro tips. I saw Chief Pat's video yesterday where he played the Rocket. I wasn't gonna actually come to the stream, but I'm kinda at the restaurant with nothing else to do. You're watching the stream in the restaurant, really? The Vietnamese pro made 2 decks. This and another one. Nightwitch Bandit, Heal 3 Masks Elixir. They have become meta. This is the 3rd or 4th time I'm seeing these. Okay. Kimmy. Hey Kimmy. Hey Kimmy. Hey Kimmy, welcome. So we're waiting for the 2nd card to be banned and then we're gonna play the 3rd set. He still missed rockets in his last video. It was so funny when he was like raging because of his partner. I actually quit that challenge because it was so annoying with partners that couldn't play. It was horrible. Horrible. Okay, we are a bit delayed, yes. Because it's 3 sets. Because it's 3 sets. It's 3 sets. We're gonna go to the 3rd set. We're still waiting here. I don't know, shall I do another battle or is that too risky? What about those challenges? Oh, I have a free entry. I still have a free entry. I got the join for free. I got Nightwitch from my legendary chest. I told you, if you like my video, you will get a legendary. That's what it is. Go wild. I actually did copy the deck. Just for this purpose. But which one is it? I need the deck with rockets. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it. I may replace this one with Chief Pat's rocket deck. Wild Bulls will play here. Wild Bulls will play... Let me check. So the next will be Wild Bulls. It will be in Royal Premier League 1, yes. And I will cast it. Wild Bulls against Team Repulse. That's gonna be next. But we're waiting for the 3rd set here. Waiting for the 3rd set right now. Go wild. Nova Alvarupia. I would say playing with Avalon is almost as bad as playing with a random in 2v2, but I'm pretty sure I have only lost like 2 2v2s on my main account playing with Avalon. Yeah, I actually win most of them. Voila. But that's actually a weird statement. Copy my deck. Bandit, Rocket Cycle. I mean, I've lost like every single 2v2 on my mini account. That's because of levels. Did we lose? Yeah, we tried something new. But the funny thing is actually with my level 1. The level 1, I win most of the 2v2s. Except when I play with very high level guys. When I play my level 1 with a level 11, we sometimes lose because the opponents are too strong. When I just play my level 1 with a random guy, I usually win. Then we're usually level 3 to 5 and our opponents are level 8 and we win. It's really amazing. Nova! Yeah. So, can they start the 3rd set, please? Why is it taking so long? Waiting for the 3rd set. Waiting for the third set. My opponents always quit. Yeah, that's the most annoying if they quit. He initially missed rockets by mistake, but it became so popular that I think he knows genuinely misses it. Sometimes just my thinking maybe. Yeah, rockets are not easy to hit. Yeah, we're waiting. Still waiting. Shall we play another match? I copied this drift path deck. Yeah, there it is. The rocket mirror deck. That's what he played. I gotta play that challenge. Make memes of Chief Pad. I aim so good with rockets. I sometimes miss too. Rockets are really hard to hit sometimes. I don't know what it is. We're waiting. We're waiting. Why does it take so long? Waiting for the third set. And after that third set, we're gonna have Wild Bulls against Team Repulse. They're probably already playing. Background song. It's okay. Okay, let me switch deck while we're waiting. So this was the old one, and actually it's almost the same deck. We need the mirror. We need to use a mirror. We use the skellies for cycling, and instead of the mortar, Beef Pat used the Inferno Tower. There you go. No, that's not right. The Electro Wizard. The Electro Wizard. That's what he used. Ice Spirit, Rocket, Log, Knight, Skellies, Mirror, Rocket, and this. This is what he used in the challenge. Okay, we're ready to go. Finally! Song's Karm. Soccer is back. There's a third match we want to show, so we gotta hurry with the third set. Rip me. Frozen Sheep says rip me. Why does he leave? Rip me. 60 seconds. Ready to go for set number 3. Everybody's waiting for set number 3. Stream didn't work. Oh. 60 seconds, we're waiting. We're waiting. Please. 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 Ah, let's spin. Let's spin the fidgets. Let's do the good old fidget on the nose. Guys, let me know when it starts. Did it start yet? No, we're still waiting. Okay. Good old fidget spinner on the nose trick. Okay, having pain on my arm, what? Don't worry, you'll get there, Soccer. Yeah, it will work. I'm so happy that my streams now work, because when I started and all those problems, dang, I was raging so hard, guys. It's unbelievable. When you want to start a stream and it lags, that's killing me. The lag and all that stuff that can go wrong. No sound, sounds too loud, and lag, and delay and disconnects. That was so tough. But, and this is not a paid ad, but since I have the Elgato and streaming on Windows, it's perfect. There you go. Next one is time code. 2 hours and 10 minutes. 2 hours, 10 minutes. 00. Yeah. And this is Peppe versus El Destructor. Yeah, since I'm using the Elgato and stream from a PC, I didn't have any problem anymore. But before that, I had a lot. I cut my arm with my hair while sleeping. What the heck? Your hair should be as sharp as a knife, or her skin would be soft as a marshmallow. Soft as a marshmallow. So, princess hits. Look at the little dark goblin guy. Going for the tower, the little guard goblin. Skin soft as a marshmallow. That's a good one. That looks good for El Destructor. Also with the dark goblin. What's the banned cards, by the way? What's the banned cards? Double lock. Having two big red stripes on my arm. So many goblins. Yeah, it's almost like we see Surgical Goblin play here with all those goblins. Why is his name Surgical Goblin, by the way? I will complete my rocket challenge after the stream. I think we missed the first part of the other game. Because of this. Battle Ram got banned, okay. Let's see what they say on Discord. Discord, please. Yeah, we're delayed. I know, they're probably not gonna wait. Probably the Bulls battle already started. His name is Goblin, but I haven't seen him use goblins. So guys, the dilemma is I wanted to stream Overwatch tomorrow, but I'm now streaming Royal Premier League tomorrow. And I also want to do a tournament. It's just too much things. I gotta make these sliders new sliders. So the first one is El Destructor. I think it's the second time he won. The chart is not updated. But that's okay. Peppe won. Next one will be Nekroz against zTeemper. That's the next one. My name is Goblin and Arch. It's on screen, Avalon. Banned card. Yeah, they're usually on screen. 21340. 21340. Nekroz versus zTeemper. Where is it? Ah, there, the heal and the battle ram. Okay, I see it. I see it very clearly. Did I hear Overwatch? Yeah, I wanted to play it. I already got the overlay ready for my Overwatch stream. But now it's Royal Premier League has started. So I don't know. I don't know when I'll be able to stream it. Soccer loves Overwatch, doesn't she? It's a fun game. I love to play it too. Now I play Overwatch Ranked. I think a lot of cheaters have been removed and it's more fun now. So, minor princess deck. That looks weird. And Night Witch. With the mirror, that looks weird. That looks weird. What is the last card? We don't see it yet. I'm in love with Overwatch. When you don't know what is Overwatch, NetQ, it's a game. I streamed it before. It's actually, I think it's the most popular game on Twitch. At least it has most viewers usually on Twitch. Yeah, that's the Twitter here, by the way. And yeah, you can see I really made it in a hurry. A game. It's a game. NetQ. That was weird. Did you see that miner, how it made a curve? Like, that looked really weird. I gotta mark that. 2 hours 16. Weird miner at 2 hours 16. That was weird. By the way, oh dang, I've been recording since 7. Holy, such a big recording. Probably gonna delete it. When you don't know what is Overwatch again, I haven't heard of it. Overwatch is 6th right now on Twitch, but it has always like very, very big viewership. In the 10,000s. 10,000 people. For Honor has a bit died, I don't know. I always loved For Honor, but it has somehow stopped. And this tower. And another victory for, I think, Giants. Hard counter. Nova Alvarupia. Only 20 people watching? Yeah, but that's only YouTube. We have 6 on Twitch. Twitch always a bit smaller. Yeah, we have more viewers when we do tournaments and other stuff. Royal Premier League not yet that popular in Europe, but that will come. I'm actually very happy. We had 50 viewers in Team Queso. We had 30 viewers, or we still have 30 viewers here. And so that's good. That's great. And I mean, it's 30 people watching. That's great. So it's 2 hours 18:05. 2 hours 18:05. Amin. I think it's really great. I mean, it's 30 people spending their time with us here, watching this stream. What is this? Tier 10 out of 10. Okay, it was very fast always. 30 people spending their time with us, watching this awesome Royal Premier League matches. And currently 31. That's really great. Great having you here. I mean, it's less than in the tournaments, but it's still a great viewership. Many people would be happy to have 30 viewers. I'm in love with piano tiles and Clash Royale. It's a love affair, never cheated to them. I'm in love with Clash of Clans. I don't like to play it anymore. I played it a long time, but... And then with Builder Hall I started, and then Brawl Stars came, and now I stopped Brawl Stars as well, because we have Clash Royale back, and it's just a matter of time and priorities. So, and actually I want to play Overwatch and Clash Royale. 4,100 currently dropped to 3,000 for farming. Clash of Clans is a great game. I played it for a long time. And then farming Town Hall 11 is not fun. So that's where I stopped. Farming Town Hall 11. That was not fun anymore. So, nice win there by Amin. He got that tower, keeping Alpha in the game. Yeah, Yirei needs to win. If Yirei wins, it's over. You know why we're delayed? Is because they're always taking so many sets. And now we're in set number 3 and so many battles. All I want is Brawl Stars on Android. Yeah, maybe I play more when it's on Android as well. I'm upgrading to BH6 in Clash of Clans, says Voila. Cool. There's a rocket. Looks a bit desperate. Yeah, he gave up. They gave up. That was Amin against Yirei, and now it's Slayer against jjjlll. That's next. Slayer against jjjlll, 221.15. 221.15. Slayer versus waiting. I need to max my battle machine. Better off going against BH6 as a BH5. I only need to upgrade my walls and laboratory and heroes. Subscribe to us, we will subscribe back. Hey, don't do that. There you go. jjjlll. He won the last battle, so this could be the last battle of this matchup here, and after that we're gonna watch the Bulls. They probably already finished the first set. Slayer playing the bowler, jjjlll playing Night Witch. Executioner counters Night Witch really well, we know that. Yeah, that Night Witch can do no harm. And Slayer's units are all at full health here, and he's dropping a graveyard. The tornado will not stop them. The baby dragon is stopping the graveyard, but yeah, he needs to defend, and that's a great defense there. How he lured them with the knight and then dropped the baby dragon, and they were all killed by the baby dragon. Very nice play. But still, he's behind. He's still behind. There's the next bowler. And Slayer is winning at the moment. Slayer is winning! Upgrade barbs. Maybe I should play it again. But I can't play all the games. I want to play Brawl Stars as well. But making videos and play, when I started YouTube I thought I'd have a chance to play a lot, but it's actually not true. Most of the time I'm creating videos and not playing that much. Maybe I should do it like Galadon and have other people send me the videos and then make videos of that. That's something Galadon does actually. His people in his clan, they always share battles with him, and then he just makes videos of those battles. Or not only, but a lot of his videos he makes like that. Just with awesome content from people in his clan. And that, yeah, I'm kind of in the same thing here. Because I don't have that much time to play myself. Maybe I should do that. I'm always struggling between streaming, playing and making videos. So that, maybe that's why Galadon does it that way. It's a smart thing. Level 8 Amin. Yeah, there Slayer gets the second tower and keeps the race going. Like, it's now 2-2 and it's over. It's 2-2 and it's over, and we're gonna see the 5th battle. The 5th battle in set number 3. Maybe they will not accept me back in RPL 1 now. Probably the first set is already over. Still no news. Still delayed. Do you guys all have vacation? Voila, still on vacation? Voila, on vacation. Awesome. I would love to have 5 or 6 weeks of vacation. That's crazy. Last battle, come on. Alpha eSports. 3 months of vacation. NitQ. That's unbelievable. 3 months. I want to make those slides new. I don't like them this way. But I gotta work on videos. That's what I said. You have to do all that stuff, overlays and stuff, and you don't have time to play. If you want to play, never start to YouTube. You don't have a chance to play anymore because you're making videos all the time. 60 seconds to request. School vacation. I only start university in August. September. School vacation. College. 4 years. August is when I'm going on holiday. Pablo, if all runs bad, I have vacation till December? Not really. 10 seconds, come on, come on. Alpha, you got a request. Don't give him a forfeit win. After waiting so long, don't give him a forfeit win, please. Please request. Please request. I miss going to school. Yeah, me too. It was the best time. It's so much fun. And so much spare time when you go to school. No! Rip. That will give discussions. Now they win. They win. By forfeit. They win. Giants has won. Congrats Giants for winning. Gwen KC. So let's put that also in 227.50. 227.50 forfeit. Let's put that in the description. Gwen KC. Gwen versus, what's that name? Ah, it's too late now. Ah, they could just give him the battle. What's the name? I can't read the name. They could still give him a chance and give him the battle if they liked. I can't read the name of the last player, it's too small. Termisfa. Something like Termisfa. Yeah, Termisfa. 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 That's bad. That's a bad end. But that's how it is. That's the rules. Okay, so I have to leave to RPL 1. Yeah, now they're salty. I understand that. It's hard to take a forfeit. So I'm gonna leave. And I gotta join RPL 1. RPL 1. There you go. Oh no, I can't request to join, it's closed. Dang, you gotta open it. Let me send them a message. It's closed! Why can I not join? It's invite only, 4,000. Ah, dang! $3,300 trophies is what I need, or I cannot join. I cannot join! But let's update the overlay. It's Wild Bulls against Team Repulse. Wild Bulls. This. Wild Bulls against Team Repulse. There you go. Okay. We're in the first set. And it's 2-1. And I hope I can join soon so that we can see the battles. Let's try again. Still on 4,000. Still on 4,000. Why do they put it on 4,000? Please. I can't join. I cannot join like this. You can join with main. Yeah, I could. That's true. But then I have to leave my clan. I wrote them a message. I hope they see it. You're an admin? Here's an admin. Let's see. Still on 4,000. Please lower trophies. Why do they set them on 4,000? I can't join. I can't join. Man. Unbelievable. We cannot join. I'm waiting to join. I'm waiting to join. Yeah, I'm leader with the main, so that's why I cannot. Or I don't want to. I could, but I don't want to. But they don't see it. Can I tweet somebody? I wrote them a message on Discord. But what I could do though, let's see if Lyra is streaming it. Maybe I can ask her. Lyra, is she streaming it? Lyra, or has she this? Maybe she has the same problem. Oh, she's not live. Who else was streaming it? Go to one of those streams of the other people that stream it. So 1, 2. The Bulls are streamed by me and Shiki or on Twitch by 8 Plays Game. So let's just try once again first. No. And so let's try this Ape Plays Game. Twitch TV. Ape Plays Game. Twitch TV. Ape Plays Game. No, not you, Siri. Not you, Siri. I'm just gonna put it in his chat. Yeah, okay, he heard me. At least he heard me. How many trophies do I have? Okay, we have a chance. Maybe we can join. RPL 1. It's still on 4,000 and it's closed. You can listen to him. If you leave, make me leave. No, I'm not leaving. They will let me in. Yeah, there you go. They will let me join. Hopefully. Hey, can you lower trophies? He's typing. I could just show you his stream. Can you load trophies and make invite only for Chief Avalon? That's really nice. He puts that in the chat. So let's see. Yeah, request to join. Thanks. What's his name? Ape Plays Game. Ape Plays Game. There you go. And I gotta follow him. I already do follow him. Awesome, we're in. We're in. Okay, we're in, guys. We're in. We're in. Finally, we're in. And the set just ended. So we missed the first set, but we're in. Okay, set one. Missed. Check. Check. Twitch TV. Ape Plays Game. Set 2, we're ready. And 3-minute break.
Place my dreams among the stars while I'm standing on the pavement. Spinning around, lost and found, just trying to make a statement. Lift the weight off my shoulders, set me free. Let the birds
So, where's my headphones? We're ready for set 2. We missed the first set and we see it there. Red Bull, Wild Bulls won 3-1 against Team Repulse. And now we're gonna go to set 2. Congrats for joining into the clan. Yeah. That was tough. Speak English and Portuguese, a bit French and Spanish. Do you want to jump on Discord? Who wants to jump on Discord for the second here, for the third matches? Cristiano Ronaldo. So let me actually try if it works. We haven't played this. Me. Let's see. Where's my Discord? I think I gotta switch off the music. Because otherwise we won't hear. So we're there. Okay. Ready for set 2. Where's my channel? Online chat? Which one is the right channel, Bola? Bola! I'm confused. Hey. What is this? Marty against Royale? Is this already a battle? Oh yeah, it's a battle! It just started! At 2 hour 41:30. 2 hour 41:30. That was fast. That was really fast. It's Marty versus Royale. Set 2, set 1 missed. That's how it is. I can't tell. So, we were busy with Discord. Hola Madrid. You actually translated your name. I'm back. Zero Inferno is back. Hey! All languages downloaded on the keyboard. So what's the Discord channel? General? Online game chat? I don't even know which one it is. The mod channel? Let me go to general. Okay, I'm connected. I don't know if it works. Hello? Hello? Anybody online? Nobody's there. Nobody wants to chat on Discord. I don't even know if it works. If I'm on Discord. It may be very quiet. Voices may be very quiet. Somebody talks. Yeah, but I'm on the Discord and we'll see if somebody wants to connect. And there's a rocket by Royale from... Dang, I can't read the name. Team Repulse. Hola Madrid, Nate Q. I gotta stand up for a moment, guys. I'm sitting for 3 hours. It's horrible. Now you can only see me from throat down. I can't stand for a moment. Can't sit for 4 hours. Maybe I move a little bit backwards. And we're gonna watch it like this. Watch it like this. Standing up. That's a premiere. We never did it before. What am I seeing right now? Zero Inferno. I gotta stand up. I've been sitting for almost 4 hours. Almost 3 hours. I know. Anything Spanish. Any tournament are you gonna host tonight? I'm just casting the Royal Premier League tonight. No one is on the voice channel. I know. You can dang, this chair here. You can yeah. Despacito. No one's on the voice channel. And he won. He won already. Unbelievable. And he won. Ugh. So, next one. I'm on the voice channel, but I can't talk. Okay. Can you hear me? Would it work? Ah, I see you, Bola. Why are you muted? Ah, it's just showing your mic is off, I guess. No, you're not muted. It's just your mic that's off. Okay. So, yeah, next battle, please. I can hear you. Yes, okay. Can you say something so that we see that if it works? 2:45:36. 2:45:36. MisterKap versus badz. There we go. Okay, let me stand up again. Oh, you're in the restaurant. Oh, okay. So you can't talk, obviously. Obviously, you can't talk when you're in the restaurant. Yeah, that's for sure. You can't talk in the restaurant. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Ah. It's not on the headphones. That's weird. Yeah, I hear it, but it's not on the headphones. That's interesting. Yeah, I hear you, but it's on the monitor. It's not on the headphones. That's weird. Why is that? Hello, I hear you. But you're on the monitor, not on the headphones. Why is that? So the input device, that works. The output device. Is on default. So it should be on the headphones. That's really weird. If I put it on the headphones directly, I'm not sure people will hear it. Okay, it would be on the headphones now. Can you say something? Ratmash? Now we're not hearing anything. Ah! Now I heard myself. Yeah, we never used it for a long time. There's the Discord, it's not muted. It's probably just very quiet. I had you on the monitor before. Yeah, it's still displayed there. That's weird. No, I didn't say anything. Okay. There's like an echo. Trace is also there. But I think it's not working. I don't know, I gotta test this.
Hello.
Hello, Tracy!
Hi.
Hi, I can hear you. Can the people in the chat also hear Tracy, or do I have to fix the volumes?
Hiya.
Nobody says anything. They're all listening to you, Tracy. All scared. All scared. Oh, did I just end Discord by mistake? Yeah, that's bad, of course.
No, you're still here.
Okay. So, can I adjust your volume? No echo now. I can hear her. Is it okay, or is she much more quiet than I am in the stream? Oh,
I just got some trophies for the clan chest just now.
Okay. Oh, the battle is over. So I got to update. Who won? Let's see who won. Okay, this is the next match. Yeah, guys, let me know. She's fine, says Bola. Okay, so guys can hear you in the chat, in the stream, apparently.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Brad must sing. So finally I managed to get you on my headphones at least. It was weird when it was on the monitor. I'm not listening to the stream, says Bola. Okay. So can somebody that's listening to the stream say if she, if her volume is the same as mine or not? Or say just right. You can't say it. You can't write it. So there's the next battle. The time code is 250. 250. At 250. There's the next battle. And this is ProPlayerBrayan. So how are you, Tracy?
I'm alright. I've been poorly, but I'm a lot better than I was.
Okay, good. Good to hear.
I'm excited because at the end of the month, a friend of mine has ordered me some Feral Phoenix stickers. So I'll be signing them and writing a personal letter to anybody that wants any.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Damn, I like this Discord stuff. Would prepare something to talk about. I'm so empty and sleepy. Bradmer Singh wants to join Discord, but he doesn't know what to talk. Yeah, I'm usually not using Discord because it's so confusing if you're streaming, and I'm used to talk all the time, and it's somehow confusing if somebody else talks as well. It's really confusing.
Also, I found a new thing that people can tip you without spending money. No, because Kevin Smack was using it, so I'm gonna keep that idea.
Okay. Yeah, we're missing Kevin Smack. Where is he? He usually is in the stream as well. He wasn't here today. Is he streaming right now? Probably. Maybe he's streaming.
No, but then again, it is a Sunday. People do like to rest.
Yeah. What I noticed is that I always streamed at this time, and like the people in the US, they streamed at totally different times, like later usually. But somehow that has changed, and everybody now streams about the same times. It's weird. Really weird. NitQ, it describes him, her. Okay, I would have timed you out for that, but it's on Nightbot's blacklist. What the heck is happening there in the chat? Guys, behave in the chat. Just behave. Let me check how that sound is when Tracy speaks.
I was going to say, I've forgotten.
Now you gotta say something.
Hello.
Oh yeah, it actually works.
Cool.
It's okay.
Yeah,
just the game sound.
And he streams at stupid o'clock in the morning, so I don't have to rally around him.
Just the game sound is a bit louder than than the voice, but besides that, it's actually great.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you feature in the news. I'm a bit running late on the news.
Okay.
But hopefully it'll be done tonight.
I've been watching Avalon for too long. That can't be, Bola. I also have a filter here to make it louder. Now you're very loud, probably. So, Are you also watching the Royal Premier League, Tracy? Are you actually playing the game still?
Yeah, I played it earlier. I've got a few trophies for our clan chest, so.
Okay. But you're not in my clan anymore, are you?
Yeah.
You're not. Okay. Yeah. Now you're louder than me. Yeah, now you're very loud. Okay, gotta put that back. That filter is horrible. You got like 25 gain.
Yeah, I'm still in your clan.
Okay.
On my main.
On the
I've
main.
made a little account.
Okay. 19 months. Bola has been watching me for 19 months. Bola, that's amazing.
Wow.
It works great. Cool. Poison is banned, guys. Poison. We're in set 3. Somehow I missed this. Somehow I'm talking too much and was distracted here with Discord. Now we're going to set 3. So that was a 3-0 win here in set 2. I won't be able to stream the 4th match, which is Mega Smiley U against Team Heretics. And it's actually sad because, you know, Mega Smiley is a great team. I think they were in the semi-finals in season 2. And but that's just too late during the week when I have to work tomorrow. On a Sunday, I cannot start the week like that. Stay up until 12. That's just too late. So I'm only streaming 3 of the matches today. And it's still a 3-hour stream.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
It's long. It's a long time.
Yeah, I worked out why my AdSense wasn't working. I've got to get 10,000 views on my channel.
Okay.
So everybody watch all my videos. Yeah, I know they're boring, but you should just have it on you. You can watch the telly and just watch my videos while you're watching the telly.
Pratmash says, Avalon, remove the filter. Yeah, it was very loud. I'm sorry, Pratmash. Do the Discord tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe. Voila, I will keep listening on Discord. Okay. Voila is lurking and listening on Discord.
Hey, should we tell some secrets about Bola?
No. Leave his secrets alone.
I'm joking.
So, yeah, guys, if you want to talk with us, you can always join our Discord. I know, maybe I should do one day a week where people can actually talk on Discord. Maybe
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, I spoke to Ricky the other day on the phone.
Okay.
On Facebook phone. Yeah, it was his birthday, the old git.
Okay. Yeah, we still have Pratmash listening on Discord, but he's not talking. And Bola is on the Discord. Pratmash is there. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know if I would do it actually, to be honest. Just go to a stream and then talk on Discord. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, it's confusing. But I've seen Sorry?
It's quite fun, actually. It's good to talk to the streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, both being streamers as well, it's good to talk to another streamer to get the streamer's other point of view, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially if you're playing a game together, like a multiplayer game.
A 2v2.
Or a 2v2, yes, exactly. I have to make you louder too. Pratmash. See, where did I do that? Just made you louder. Yeah, there's your volume. Bang. Now your volume is on 200 as well. I have to put all the volumes to 200 here. Yeah, the reason is that usually my desktop audio is a lot reduced because I want to make the music less noisy. And so I reduced the desktop audio. And now if Skype goes to the desktop audio as well, that's also reduced. So that's why I have to put your user volumes to 200 to improve that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't want
currently trying to raise money for a new tablet. £99 for a new tablet. A Samsung one.
Okay.
Because currently someone else is streaming on my channel, but I'm on their Skype.
Somebody else is streaming on your channel?
Well, someone else is streaming my game on their on my channel. It's so I can get my views up.
Ah, okay. So like a collab, you're streaming on the same channel.
Yeah, it's because basically
Okay.
I can't stream at the moment because my tablet's broken, so I got to get a new one.
Okay. So guys, I was just confused here when I've seen here that Charlie Niter and Koji-san, they both left the clan. So it looks like they're not streaming the third set of this match here. Maybe they switched for the other match that's starting at 10. I don't know. Yeah, but after the 5-minute break, it should continue. Nitq saying, I found my eyes. Noise. Noise. Zero Inferno says noise or nice. I don't know. Pratt was saying, yeah, I find Discord weird, says Pratmash.
How's Abigail?
She's great. I hope she's sleeping, but it's her vacation, so she usually stays up late during vacation.
Yeah.
Zero Inferno, no! What do you say no to? Zero Inferno. We're waiting. It takes so long. It takes so
Yeah,
long.
that's the trouble is when you're relying on like other people and other when you're streaming other things, relying on other people, like toe tapping moments.
How late is late for her Avalon? What? I think she has the same. For Avagirl you mean? Yeah, late. Late for her is probably 12. She's never tired.
How old is she?
8.
Aww.
The real Skyfy, welcome. You're new, welcome. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new, if you haven't already. Then GD Alpha Geminis, hey. There have been days I've gone to sleep at 5 AM. Yeah, for me too. That's when I was younger. Been there, Bola. Did you lose subs, Aaron? Last time you had 14,300 subs. Yeah, I always lose some subs when I'm like not streaming. That's normal.
Same as me.
Yeah, and RPL is not as popular yet in Europe, so it's not as many subs as when I'm doing a tournament. So I lost some subs. Actually, currently 11 subs missing from yesterday. The real Skyfy, subbed and turned on notifications. That's awesome. Thumbs up for you. Zero Inferno.
Yeah, I'm looking at my dashboard now.
Okay. I subbed and turned on notifications. That's cool. Did you lose subs? Yeah. I usually lose, when I'm not streaming, I use between 10 to 20. Sometimes a little bit more, but around that. That's about the amount of subs I lose every day I'm not streaming. And 10 to 20, something like that.
Yeah, I have more males watching me.
Okay.
Most of my age range is 35 to 44.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my average is about 18 to 26, something like that, in that range usually, when I checked it last.
Yeah, and my top countries is the United States.
Yeah, mine too. So we're going to set number 3. Hanberg. Playing against Brayan. Payon. Who knows? Something like that. Brian.
I think I have Martians watching me because it says top countries, right? And it goes other 1.3. So does that mean I've got aliens watching me or something?
Other. I don't know. 3.506. Maybe. Yeah, my top countries are no, my top languages. I have to check the countries actually. I'm not sure about the countries right now. But for languages, it's I think English, German, and then Indian. Hindi. Hindi is the third.
Yeah, would you be able to show me one day how you set up subtitles?
How I what?
Set up subtitles.
Did I set up subtitles? Did I do that?
I don't know.
Not right now, I guess. I did it once on some videos, but then I don't know. I think it's not really worth it. It didn't really give a change in views or anything. And it was a lot of work, so I stopped doing that for now. Free food for everyone, says NitQ, making me hungry. I didn't have dinner yet.
No,
Well, about
I want to cook something in a minute.
Just the other countries with smaller percentages, and so instead of listing 0.2 Cubans, it just includes it with other countries. I don't know why I chose Cuba. Yeah, let me quickly go to my analytics and check viewers, graphic sources. There you go. I think it's that one. Demographics, is it that one?
I've
No,
got
so actually in demographics, you see the average of my viewers is between 18 to 24 years. And actually the main, if you really take the big bunch, it's 13 to 34. And yeah, a lot more male than female. And where do I see the countries?
It says top on mine because I've got the actual app itself.
Watch time reports, watch time, audience retention. Maybe on the overview. Shares, videos, subscribers, watch time. So Canberg 1. And yeah, where are those countries? I was there before. Demographics, playback locations, there you go. No, that's not the country, that's whether it's YouTube or somewhere else.
Mine's under audience on the app I've got.
Audience retention. That's not the countries. Geography, there you go. But that's retention. But there you see actually watch time. Watch time is interesting. So my top watch time is United States. And then India. And then United Kingdom. And
Yeah,
fourth,
mine's United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Vietnam.
oh, Canada is way below for me. For me, it's United States, India, United Kingdom, Netherlands, Germany, France, Indonesia, Romania, and then Canada. Interesting.
Germany is right down the list for me. It's only a half a person, 0.5.
Half a person watching. So 309, and 28. And this is me versus Royale. Rihoni. There you go. Rihoni. Okay. Is this on YouTube too? Yes, Josiah King. I'm always streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And yeah, we're currently a bit distracted by Discord. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the battles. I wonder how old I'm on this account. This is my actual channel. Okay, there. Let's read chat. Sept Waltrick, hello. I wonder how old I'm on this account. I don't think I've put my real age. Yeah, probably most people haven't put the real age there. 2 reasons why women go to gym. Number 1, to find good looking trainer. Number 2, to take a selfie. I don't know, NitQ. Maybe it's also... Another reason would be to talk with friends. Or read a book. When I was in the gym, there was always so many women reading books on the bikes, sitting on the bike and reading a book. Maybe because nobody disturbs them while reading a book in the gym. Septic Waltrick, hey! Pratmer says it's not true. And Josiah King, yes, it's on YouTube and Twitch as always. Do people not understand that was a joke? Jokes, just jokes. Can you find a country on this little earth? Okay. So let's see. Let's go into this battle here. It's Rihoni against Royale. Yeah, we should also watch it. The Night Witch going there against that Ice Golem. Avalon, I'm Zero Inferno. But he just said it his opinion, following it. Nice fireball there on the guards. And the good thing about the guards is that they actually survived the fireball. And are still able to fight against the graveyard. But here, this graveyard almost took the tower. It's at 4 health and there's the log and it's over. It's already over. How can a joke be someone's opinion? It's over. Rihoni won. Rihoni won. And so it's 1-1 in the 3rd set. And Sept, yup. And it's true. At least in my country. Okay, I gotta go back to the joke. What was the joke? 2 reasons why I want to go to gym. Find a good looking trainer. I don't know, but yeah, for some it's true, I guess. I've seen those. I've seen some of those. For some it's true. Probably not for all. Pretty sure not for all, but some. To take a selfie. There's actually, the thing is, you see so many gym selfies. Like, people go to gym to take selfies. Somehow it's a thing. So many people take selfies in the gym. Probably they're not even training, they just go there and take a selfie.
Let's go.
Pedro El Sabio. Against badz. That's the next. Hey Chief, I found the best troll deck for 2v2, Josiah King. Bradmer saying never mind. Lone Rage, Valk, Mirror, Electro Wizard, Bandit and Lumberjack. It's funny and fun to use. Oh, I gotta play that Rocket Challenge afterwards. It's not called Rocket Challenge, it's something like First Tower Wins. But it's also unofficially known as the Rocket Challenge. Pedro El Sabio! Fighting here also with the Rocket, going for that pump. Nice play. And the Battle Ram. And the log counters that easily. Today all those matches take so long. My 3-hour stream will become a 4-hour stream. Those meme faces, so good. What? You should have said, I've got someone to do that at NitQ. I don't get it. The little dark goblin at the tower. The tower is at 1666. Is that a good sign or not? We don't know. And there's the next battle ram. But I guess, yeah, there's the log. He has the log ready. Badz is playing good, not bad. And there's the next goblins. Next goblins. You were dropping since we put on Discord. maybe because we were too distracted. So there's the princess, and now Badz planning to the golem there, playing the golem. Golem walking slowly. The golem walking, but the Night Witch is in front of the golem. Something's wrong here. Night Witch in front of the golem, taken out by the princess, and now distracted by the Inferno Tower. But the golem still almost at full health. That's a good golem there. Baby Dragon protecting the golem. He's at the tower. Golemites at the tower. Is that it? Next golem. Why does he place the golem over there? Yeah, the other tower is lower. Night Witch passing the golem once again. Night Witch going for the Inferno Tower, and golem burned. Yeah, that golem will die. The golemites will die before they hit the tower. Maybe it dropped on Twitch. Twitch is actually almost the same as before. It seems like the same amount of viewers on YouTube, really? We were on, above 30 before, and now it's 23. Maybe it's just the display wrong. I don't know. So that was Pedro El Sabio against Badz. And that means it's Badz won. So one more victory for Team Repulse and they win the match. All he needed was a rocket. All we need is a rocket. Do, 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 do. All we need is a rocket. Do, 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 do. All we need is a rocket, rocket, rocket. But he didn't see. Pika keyboard on your phone. Okay, next one. Next one. Time is 3:17. 3:17. So many time codes. 58. And this is on which will against SV Cadet Lux. SV Cadet Lux. Never heard of those players before. Definitely not as famous as the Team Queso players. All we need is a rocket. Can you put the fidget spinner away? It disturbs my mental balance. That's the real Skyfield. Which one? This one? Or this one? Just not showing it anymore. And there's the rocket. Bang, smashing into that pump. Okay, I think we put back the music. And switch off Discord.
Okie dokie.
To put back some music. Because, yeah, maybe next time we'll have more people on Discord. It's certainly fun to do. Thank you so much, Tracy, for having you on Discord. And have a beautiful evening.
Bye.
And you.
And yeah, good luck with your YouTube and your streams. And yeah, great evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, that's where do I switch it off? I think right here. Okay, can I leave it somehow? I don't know. I'm such a Discord noob. Let's switch on the music. There you go. Music's back. Bring the beat back. Ah! Bolasses! Just as I was getting ready to join the voice channel. I think it's better when you actually play together, like in a 2v2, or when you discuss something, like you're watching the match and discuss the match, or something like that. I was missing the music, it was so quiet. So there's the golem once again. And the winner is Lux. So that is match. That's match. That's match. Team Repulse won. Won. Congrats. What happened to this? The balloon. They're already leaving. They're already leaving. They're so fast leaving. I can't wait to leave. Fidget spinner madness. I've done quite a few 2v2s Sylvan on the voice channel. I think it doesn't really make a big difference whether you talk or not, because you actually you get the feel for what cards the other guy has. Everyone leaving, they leave because the tournament is over. Let's open this and I'll end the stream now. So let me check here. Because Smiley is not cast, so okay, we got all those time codes here in the video description, except for the first two matches where I didn't have the time code. But Z2 and Z3, and then also Alpha eSports Gaming, we have it. Yeah, you should be able to format or something. Z3, then Alpha eSports Gaming, or make it caps or so. Wild Bulls. That's it. Good. Now, let's hope this works. We got all those time codes and don't want to lose them. Okay. So, guys, that's it for today. It was a long stream. For me, it was a long stream and I'm a bit tired now. It is 3.5 hours. I hope you enjoyed. And the next stream will already be tomorrow. Yes, already tomorrow. It will be another Royal Premier League, but maybe also a tournament. Double log still happen. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're less likely, but it nonetheless happens. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Everyone, have an awesome Sunday evening, and see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the stream. Bye bye, everyone. See you. Bye bye. Magical chests, and of course I hope for the Night Witch to be in one of those chests. How many legendaries can I get? So let's open the giant chest. Number 1. We get gold, goblin hat, dark goblin, knight, tombstone. That's it. That's the first giant chest. Let's try another one. Freeze, bomber, Battle Ram. And what is it? Nightwitch, please. Oh, the Inferno Dragon. Dang. I was so hoping for Nightwitch. But it's the Inferno Dragon. Okay. Next one. Let's try another giant chest. Number 3. Gold. Bear Goblins, Barbarians, Knight, Bomb Tower. That's it. That's number 3. Next one. Number 4. And that's what we get. No Nightwitch. Number 5. Number 5. A lot of gold, heal spell, battle ram, rocket, minion horde. That's it, number 5. Let's go and open some magical chests and see what we get there. Number 1. Gold, goblins, knight, elite barbarians, goblin gang, fire spirits, the heal, and lightning. And I always get elite barbs that I don't need. Please, please, give me the Nightwitch. So, next magical chest. We get fire spirits, goblins, goblin gang, 35. The furnace, 25, and 4 epics, the giant skelly. Why do I get all the stuff I don't use? And the last one is a legendary, Nightwitch, please, Nightwitch! It's the graveyard. It's the graveyard. I don't know. The game somehow doesn't want to give me Nightwitch. So I'm gonna open 3 more magical chests. Number 1. We get gold, royal giants, the wizard, fire spirit, the witch, skeleton army, a lot of giants, 15, and poison. No Nightwitch. Next magical chest. Gold. Bear goblins, wish me luck. Guys, wish me luck. Rocket. The minion horde. The Valkyrie. The clone spell. And what's the last one? What's the last one gonna be? Legendary, Nightwitch, please, Nightwitch! Ah, the Ice Wizard! Supercell, please, give me Nightwitch! Dang! It's the only card I'm missing, is the Nightwitch. Let's go for another one. Let's go for another one. Gold. Cannon, arrows, archers, tap, and the last one is 4 golems, and the last, oh, that is the last one. 3 legendary cards, but no Nightwitch yet in this chest opening. I hope I get her soon. And in the shop, it's the same thing, by the way. I never had her. I have so many legendaries in the shop, but not Nightwitch. It's like Supercell doesn't want to give me Nightwitch on my main account. I hope you enjoyed this chest opening videos. For more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks, see you next time. Have an awesome day.